a progress report and an update in a number of areas. You remember we asked the state employees to work at home according to their supervisor's discretion. We now have working from home in state employees 15,238. Working as normal in the office, we have 15,812. It's almost 50-50. We are hoping that we can move that 50-50 number up to 75% working at home in the next 2 weeks or so. We urge our private employees also to follow this example to the extent that they can, because we know that this makes a difference. It's the closeness and the inevitabilities of contact on surfaces and hands and things, as well as coughing and sneezing, that make this virus so dangerous. All plans and contingencies are on the table. We're not ruling anything in except those we've already ruled in. We're not ruling anything out. And that includes, as been asked by many, shelter in place, which is a stay home shelter in place order, which we have not issued. And that is a drastic action, and we all hope that that will not be necessary. And many South Carolinians are taking precautions that will render that unnecessary. They're staying home, they're using good personal hygiene, they're washing their hands, they're cleaning surfaces, they're not touching their nose, their mouth, and their eyes to contact and spread the disease, and they are using common sense. I know it's hard to not touch things and then touch your face, touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, which of course leads to the respiratory part of this. It's hard to do that. That's why you must keep washing your hands all day long. And that's why it's important to stay away, keep that social distance from others so that you're not spreading things by contact and also by sneezing and coughing. So for all those who are out there working so hard to see that our people are safe, I want, on behalf of all the rest of us, I want to say thank you very much. We appreciate it and urge you to continue to do it, but to do it with more vigor and attempt to set as good an example and as an obvious example as you can for all of our federal citizens, our common citizens, our friends and our neighbors. Many people are not using the common sense. Now you see I'm rubbing, not my eye, but right under my eye. That is, and I've just washed my hands, so there's nothing on my hands because I washed them for almost a minute ago. That's about the only way you ought to be touching your face. But there are a lot of people that are not doing that. And those are the simple things. There are a lot of people that are congregating. There are a lot of people, you go into the beaches in big crowds, a lot of people going into the parking lots, a lot of people going at the shopping centers and things like that and congregating. And that opens up all kinds of opportunities for the spread of this virus. And that lack of discipline, that lack of consideration, lack of forethought, and lack of consciousness about what is going on is what will result in the spread of this virus. So I want to ask everyone to redouble their efforts to see that we do not jam people together. We don't have groups whether it's spontaneous or planned, and not to put others in that immediate contact that results in this infection. That is how it is spread, by touching each other, touching one's stuff, and then going to your hands with your nose, mouth, and your eyes. So I'm issuing another executive order under this state of emergency, and it is this: to reinforce this point and to allow us to take official action. There is a state statute, and it reads and allows this, and I want to make everyone aware now. I'm hereby authorizing, ordering, and directing any and all law enforcement officers of the state or any political subdivision thereof, in accordance with the South Carolina Code of Laws and other applicable law, to prohibit or disperse any congregation or gathering of people unless authorized in their homes in groups of 3 or more, if the law enforcement officials determine in their discretion that such gathering or congregation in people poses or could pose a threat to public health. Now, this is statutory authority our law enforcement officers have. It is similar, you could say, to a public nuisance statute, which is a civil statute, but this is a criminal statute, and it's a misdemeanor. And this would apply to a lot of things. It would apply to parties on the beach, to boisterous gatherings or concerts, to spontaneous gatherings or unruly gatherings in shopping centers, parking lots. Those are the kinds of things, and we have all seen them. What it does not apply to, what it is not intended to apply to, is law-abiding businesses or employers. It's difficult to draw the line, but we know it when we see it. And law officers have this authority by state law, and under this state of emergency, I'm asking them to implement it vigorously according to their discretion. We must not have these sorts of gatherings that are invitations for infection. I want to thank some people who have done a lot of great work. We've asked for the contractors and